Hey, welcome to the Nika Said podcast. And if you're new here, I'm Nika Williams, a planner girl, mom to an 8-year-old husband, and a die-hard Atlanta Falcons fan. At the end of 2016, I was happily fired from Amazon, which jumped off this online journey. After signing 2 clients within 10 days and booking out my services as a virtual assistant, I was thrown as the Facebook queen and Coach Nika was born. All that to say, I'm a virtual assistant and a VA coach helping women realize they don't have to choose between work and their family. You can have both. And if you're looking for financial freedom while also having family focus, this is the podcast for you. You'll learn how to grow a business that fits into your personal life and not the other way around. Hey y'all, welcome back to another episode of the Nika Said podcast. And today I'm going to talk about how do you book more sales calls, discovery calls, whatever you call them. But it is getting people, potential clients on the phone with you to discuss your services and convert them over into paying clients. And so I have seen so many people struggle with this. If you know my story, I was able to sign 2 clients within 10 days of starting my business. So I was able to understand and perfect this process pretty early in my virtual assistant business journey. And I understood that it was so important in understanding my clients and why they book sales calls and what made them buy on sales calls, or just buy in general. What is going to help me to be able to stand out in the sea of virtual assistants that's also pitching this same potential client. And so I'm going to teach you a couple of things that's going to take you from being ghosted, to not booking sales calls, to honestly not being able to get any potential clients on the phone, in emails, DMs, where it is that you're trying to convert them. And so the first thing I want to talk about is how do you shift your mindset around sales? Because I think this is the biggest thing that a lot of people struggle with, and it's also holding them back from booking more sales calls, is because they don't want to be salesy, they don't want to be pitchy, they don't want to push hard. They just want people to be like flooding into their DMs, emails, and like, yes, I want to jump on the phone with you. You post your portfolio or your website, your services on your social media platforms, and you consistently post those, and you're like, hey, people should be engaging with this content and falling over into my DMs and ready to book sales calls and ready to book my services. But the thing is, if you are that passive with your sales process, then that is going to be that much harder to book those sales calls to be able to convert those leads. You have to be able to say, hey, and confidently say, hey, I am the girl for this job. And if they don't hire me, they're going to be missing out. They're going to struggle longer. They're going to lose more money in their business. They're going to lose time with their family and friends. You have to be pretty aggressive in this space because the online marketing space is not saturated, but it's very busy. So if you're having any anxiety or self-doubt around your services and how you're able to convert that communication of the value of your services, then you need to address that first before you even start to sell your services or book sales calls. You have to be very confident and build yourself up as authority in your niche to be able to easily convert these potential clients on sales calls, and even before then be able to book these sales calls. There has to be a reason or some type of incentive for them to take time out of their busy schedule to get on the phone with you. They have to feel there is some type of ROI for them to do that. So you want to really be able to address those details in emails and DMs, or in your content before you even are able to start booking those sales calls. So that's the number one thing. I want you to shift your mindset around sales in general so you can become successful in booking sales calls and down the line converting these potential clients on those calls. The next thing is the most important thing, and this is why I am creating pre-work for my coaching clients. Because before we even jump on a call, I need you to start understanding your ideal client, and doing research on your ideal client and really knowing them like the back of your hand. And this is where a lot of girls fumble the bag, honestly. It's if you don't know your clients, know the pits of your clients, know the downfalls, struggles, your clients' behavior,
then it's going to be very hard for you to book those sales calls, be able to communicate the importance of getting on a sales call with you. What is the purpose of getting on a sales call with you? What's going to drive them to do that? What's going to make them um, build up that urgency for you to get on sales call for with them, other than another virtual assistant that's in their inbox or in their DMs? So you want to really understand your target audience or your ideal client to be able to effectively drive those sales and drive those more booking more sales calls. And the one thing that I always tell my girls to do is look at any past clients you've already had, or look at potential clients that you think you want to work with, or even like competitors in your field, to be able to draft that ideal client and really start to get to know them on a more deeper level, being able to understand what are their pain points, their needs, their desires, why are they hiring you, understanding their personality. Some people are type A type B type, ADHD. They just struggle with maybe a big picture, or they may struggle with the nitty gritty and understanding how to make things work, or how to make their strategies or processes work for them, or how do they take their big picture idea and like break it down into smaller pieces, and how to actually implement those smaller pieces. So you need to know what are your ideal clients struggling with, so you can use those in your pitches, to be able to drive them to book a sales call with you. If you can get them thinking like, hey, this girl knows me, she's already in my head, she knows exactly what I need, then they are going to book a sales call with you, rather than picking a general virtual assistant who's just like, hey, I can perform these duties for you. You really want to be able to connect with them on a deeper level. So you really want to focus on this piece. And I know a lot of girlies want to skip this piece. They were like, this isn't important. Like, I've seen other people do it, so I can do it. I'm going to put my services out there and people should buy. But this is why you are creating content and putting out content, and it's not reaching any kind of engagement, or is not driving any kind of sales, or you are sending out pitches and it's doing the same thing, not driving any kind of sales call being booked, or driving any kind of sales. So you really want to tailor your sales approach to resonate with your specific audience, target audience, and your ideal clients. The next thing I want to talk about, and this is so important, and this is something you need to nail, because it is the driving force in your business, no matter what it is that you're selling. And this is crafting a compelling sales pitch, or crafting a premium pitch. You need to be able to craft your pitches in a way that is super impactful but concise. And this is why I give templates to my coaching girls too, because I have learned how to be able to effectively book sales calls in the least amount of words. How am I able to stand out from virtual assistants, get drive my point, and then also be able to book those sales calls in less words than a lot of other people do it. And this is so important, because if in our niche, in our field, in our industry, we are helping people who just don't have the time. They are looking for virtual assistants, OBMs, because they need to save time. They have so many things on their to-do list, and reading your long pitch is not gonna make it, babe. Like, it needs to be super short, but you also need to be super concise and drive home the importance of why you're the girl from the job, and what their next step should be. A lot of people miss out on this piece too. It's like, you say, hey, I can do it for you, and then nothing. Like, you need to have a call to action, telling these ideal clients exactly what they need to do next. Is it like visit your website and look at your services? Is it to click this link and book a call with you? Is it to reply back to your email or your DMs, with a couple of times so you can jump on the phone? Is it to fill out a pre-call questionnaire? You need to know exactly what you want them to do, because if you don't tell them what to do, they won't do anything. Another thing with your sales pitches is you need to be able to grab their attention. You need to be able to stand out. You need to be able to set yourself apart. And you need to do that in the very first instance of them opening or reading your pitch. So if this is on email, then you need to have a very um attention grabbing subject line. And my girls know this is something I give them, because I am getting more open rates than a lot of other virtual assistants. I get more responses to my pitches because I'm able to grab their attention pretty quickly, when they're having 100 other messages in their inbox, emails in their inbox. So that's another thing you definitely want to do, is be able to grab their attention because you want to stand out and be able to get them to open your pitch. If you're not having people open your pitch, no matter if it's email, DMs, the form applications, then you are already lost the game. Like if they are not engaging with your pitch or email, then there's no way they can buy from you. So you really want them to be able to open your pitch. The next thing you really want to do is really go ahead and address your client's pain points. And this is where I add in my personalized approach to my pitches. Yes, I do use a structured kind of template that I have seen work after pitching hundreds, thousand probably of clients. And so I don't start over from scratch each time, but I add some type of personalized points inside of my pitch every time I pitch to someone. And the client's pain points and how I relate my transformation, or what type of transformation I will help them facilitate, is where I key in my personalized touch to each pitch that I send out. Because in the post or email or whatever you're reading that is saying, hey, I need support around this issue in my business, they're going to address like their specific pain points or needs in there. And so you need to be able to quickly align their pain points to some type of solution you're able to facilitate. And so making sure you have those personalized key points in there is going to help you stand out, and help you get in your potential client's mind and help them understand and see that you are that one to help them facilitate or help them reach that type of solution. I like to do this a lot through leveraging my testimonials, social proof, case studies. I love to say, hey, I've had a client similar to you, just like you, similar problems to you, similar needs to you, and I was able to help them do this. When you're able to physically give them some type of results or put them in the shoes of somebody else who you are able to help, then this is going to help them to understand and see themselves working with you, because it's like, hey, she's already done this before. She's the one I need. So even before, if you don't have any kind of clients, you haven't done this, for anybody else, use yourself as a case study, as a testimony, as the social proof. I talk about all the time how in the middle of a pandemic, I was able to hit multiple 5K plus months and hit my first 10K plus month. And I say this to say, hey, if I'm able to do this, you see I'm able to do this, then this is something I can help you do as well. I like to talk about in my services side of my business, hey, I've helped other 6 and 7 figure businesses with launch support, and they have been able to sign more clients, make more money, or spend less time in their business. Whatever that desire is, I need to have that in my pitch for this person because they might desire something else. They might desire more money, or they might desire taking more vacations with their kids. So you need to have that personalized piece in your pitch. And you can find this information too by doing research. If you are just looking at the pitch and not doing any kind of research, you're going to easily be able, you're going to blend in. You're not going to be able to stand out. So you have to say something in that pitch that's going to attract their attention. So making sure you're adding some type of personalized um, information to that pitch, and testimonials, case studies, and social proofs can do that. And also, I like to just build some type of rapport. So if we're in DMs talking about this, I like to keep it super casual because that's how I work with my clients too. I work with people who I enjoy working with, and so I do use a lot of voice messages because I am just a talker. Um, it's easier for me to just click that button and talk away instead of trying to text all that. And that's also how I'm going to stand out and easily connect with my potential clients when they can hear my voice before they even jump on a sales call. So making sure you do that as well. So these are all good ways for you to go ahead and start to pitch or close more or book more discovery calls. If you have any kind of issues with this and you have been pitching and you still have not been able to book a sales call in 30 days, then this is where we need to stop and have a conversation, because if you are able to make a few tweaks and adjustments, you can easily book a sales call in this week. I normally book 3 sales calls. That's always my goal. I definitely normally book more than that, but you can easily book at least one sales call a week if you are crafting the correct and premium pitches to be able to stand out with your ideal clients. So if you're struggling with that, if you're not able to book sales calls consistently each week, then this is something we need to have a deeper conversation about. Make sure you DM me on Instagram at Coach Nika, and just say sales calls, and we can jump in and I can offer you one of the limited spots to my free profitable planning session. I'm already have one client booked for private coaching with me, and it's around the holidays, so spots are super limited. If that's something you want to do to start working on your goals even before we hit 2024, make sure you reach out to me. So that's all I have for you guys today. Thank you again for listening to another episode of the Nika Said podcast. And until next time, keep working, babes.
Thank you so much for joining me today, and make sure you check back next week for another amazing episode with actionable tips to grow your online business. In the meantime, leave a review and let me know your thoughts on today's episode. And if you want to see what I'm up to, check out my Instagram page at Coach Nika. Come hang out with other women on the same journey in the private free Facebook group, the Virtual Assistant Club. And remember, every day you're one step closer to the dream life you want. Keep going, girlfriend.